The door flew open like a gunshot in the dead of night. And there he was, Tyler, my best friend since freshman orientation, frozen in the threshold with his gym bag slung over one shoulder. Eyes locked on me mid-kiss with a guy I'd met at the Campus Queer Alliance mixer 2 hours earlier. Zach? What the actual fuck? His voice cracked like thunder, not with anger, but something rawer, betrayal, maybe, or the kind of hurt that slices deeper than any fist. I shoved the stranger away, my heart slamming against my ribs as the room spun into a blur of scattered textbooks, empty beer cans, and the ghost of what we'd almost shared, because in that split second, I knew our unbreakable bond, forged in late-night cram sessions and road trips across the Midwest, was about to shatter into something dangerously alive. The dorm room at Emerson University smelled like stale pizza and the faint, metallic tang of anxiety sweat mine. Mostly. It was a Wednesday in late October, the kind of crisp fall evening where the leaves outside our third-floor window turned the quad into a postcard of reds and golds, but inside, felt like the walls were closing in. I'd been dodging Tyler all day, ever since that mixer in the student union basement. The Alliance was supposed to be a safe space, a dimly lit haven of rainbow flags and awkward small talk. But when Marcus, tall, with that easy grin and a tattoo of a compass on his forearm, leaned in and whispered, "You look like you could use a real conversation," something in me cracked open. I'd spent 3 years burying who I was under layers of bro-code bullshit, high fives after Tyler's soccer games, shotgunning beers at frat parties, and pretending the ache in my chest when he stripped down after practice was just locker room normal. But tonight, with Tyler out for his ritual run along the Charles River, I'd invited Marcus over. Stupid. Reckless. We hadn't even made it past the futon. His lips were soft against mine, tasting like the cheap Merlot we'd swiped from the lounge. And for the first time, I let myself feel it, the heat pooling low in my gut, the way his fingers tangled in my hair without hesitation. It was electric, forbidden, everything I jerked off to in the shower while Tyler snored in the bunk above me. Then the door. Tyler's key in the lock. The world tilting. Marcus bolted first, mumbling something about "texts me later," as he grabbed his hoodie and vanished into the hall, leaving me sprawled on the futon with my shirt half untucked and lipstick smudge on my collar. Tyler didn't move. He just stood there, duffel bag slipping to the floor with a thud that echoed like a gavel. His chest heaved from the run, blonde hair damp and curling at the temples, those blue eyes usually sparkling with that effortless charm that made girls, and me swoon now stormy, searching my face like I'd rewritten our history in the last 5 seconds. "Tyler, wait," I started, scrambling to my feet, but my voice came out small, choked. The air between us thickened, charged with 3 years of unspoken shit. The way I'd memorized the freckles across his nose during study sessions, how I'd laughed too hard at his dumb jokes to cover the flutter in my throat when he'd sling an arm around my shoulders. He held up a hand, palm out like he was warding off a ghost. "Don't. Just don't, Zach." His jaw clenched, that square line I'd always envied sharpening as he raked a hand through his hair. "You're gay? Like, full on. And you didn't think to mention it? To me? Your best fucking friend." The word gay hung there, heavy as a confession in a confessional. I'd never said it out loud, not even to myself until tonight. But hearing it from him, it was validation and indictment all at once. I opened my mouth, closed it, feeling exposed. "Bro, it's not that simple, man. I was figuring it out. Protecting us, I guess." "Protecting us?" He laughed, but it was bitter, hollow. echoing off the cinder-block walls. He paced the narrow space between our beds, kicking aside a stray sneaker, mine, probably. The room felt smaller, the posters of Nirvana and the Red Sox curling at the edges like they were shrinking from the tension. We've shared everything, Zach. That time in Ohio, when my dad bailed on graduation, you drove all night to get me. And now this? You sneak around in our room like I'm some stranger, guilt twisted in my gut like a knife. He wasn't wrong. Tyler Hayes was the golden boy of Emerson varsity soccer star, poli-sci major with dreams of law school in D.C., the guy who could charm a room full of skeptics with one lopsided smile. We'd met on move-in day, him hauling a mini fridge up the stairs while I fumbled with my guitar case, both of us wide-eyed freshmen from the heartland. Illinois for me, Nebraska for him. Instant click. Same taste in indie rock. Same disdain for the East Coast snobs. We'd built this bubble, late nights debating Supreme Court cases over ramen, tailgating Bruins games with face paint and too much whiskey. He was my anchor, the straight-laced hetero who made me feel seen without ever knowing the half of it. But I'd always known more about him than he did about me. Like how his laugh lines deepened when he talked about his little sister back home, or the scar on his knuckle from punching a wall after his parents' divorce. I'd filed it all away, a secret scrapbook of affections I never dared unpack. I didn't want to fuck this up, I said finally, sinking onto the edge of my bed. The springs creaked under me, pathetic soundtrack. You with your perfect life, your girlfriends rotating like seasons. What if you thought I was hitting on you, or worse, pitted me? Tyler's pacing stopped. He turned, and for a heartbeat, his expression softened, something vulnerable flickering behind the hurt, like a crack in armor. Pitted you, Zach? You're the smartest guy I know. The one who sees through all my bullshit. He swallowed hard, Adam's apple bobbing. But this? It feels like you didn't trust me enough to be real. The silence stretched, broken only by the distant hum of the vending machine in the hall and the muffled bass from the room next door. I wanted to reach for him, to pull him into one of our bro hugs that lingered just a second too long, but my hands stayed glued to my knees. Instead, I nodded, throat tight. I do trust you. More than anyone. That's why it scares the shit out of me. He exhaled, long and shaky, then dropped onto his own bed across from mine, elbows on knees, staring at the floor. Okay. So, tell me. From the beginning. No filters. And just like that, the dam broke. Words tumbled out, halting at first, then in a rush. The crushes on high school boys I dismissed as bromance. The porn tabs I cleared like evidence at a crime scene. The way Tyler's casual touches, a clap on the back, a shared blanket during movie marathons, had become my private torture. He listened, really listened, chin in hand, eyes never leaving mine. No interruptions, no judgment. When I finished, voice hoarse, the clock on my nightstand glowed 1:47 a.m. Tyler leaned back, processing. Damn. That's a lot. He rubbed his face, stubble rasping under his palm. I always thought you were holding back something. Not this, but yeah. Makes sense now. Relief washed over me, tentative, like sunlight after a storm. So we're good? Still roomies? Still bros? A ghost of his grin tugged at his lips. Yeah, dumbass. But next time, lock the door. Or at least warn a guy. He chucked a pillow at me, light, and for a moment, it was us again, easy, unbreakable. But as he rolled over, back to me in the dark, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling cracks that mapped out like veins. Something had shifted, subtle as a fault line. His laugh hadn't reached his eyes, and when our gazes met earlier, there was a heat there I couldn't name. Dangerous territory. The kind where friendships drown. The next morning dawned gray and drizzly, the kind of Boston weather that seeps into your bones. Tyler was already up, brewing coffee in our mister. Coffee pot that gurgled like an old man clearing his throat. He handed me a mug, black, 2 sugars, just how I liked, without a word, but his shoulder brushed mine at the counter, lingering. Practice at 3. You coming? Wouldn't miss it, I said, sipping to hide the flush creeping up my neck. We fell into routine. Him lacing up cleats, me sketching notes for my lit seminar. But the air hummed with unspoken static, every glance loaded. Class dragged, prof droning on about Whitman, leaves of grass and all that homoerotic subtext I'd always side-eyed. Marcus texted twice. Last night was fire. Round 2, I ignored it, thumb hovering, because suddenly, the thrill felt cheap next to whatever this was with Tyler. By afternoon, the quad was a slick mosaic of puddles. Students huddled under umbrellas like colorful mushrooms. I found a spot on the bleachers overlooking the soccer field, the chill biting through my hoodie. Tyler was a blur of green jersey and determination, weaving through defenders with that predatory grace. When he scored, a rocket into the upper 90, his roar echoed, and he scanned the stands, locking eyes with me. He pumped his fist, mouthing, "This one's for you," and my chest tightened, a dangerous swell of pride and something fiercer. Post-practice, he jogged over, sweat slicked and grinning, towel around his neck. Your good luck charm worked overtime today. Close. He smelled like grass and salt, alive in a way that made my pulse stutter. Anytime, I managed, handing him a Gatorade. Our fingers brushed, electric, accidental, and he didn't pull away fast enough. Or at all. That night, pizza boxes piled high again. We cracked open a 6-pack, the TV flickering with some dumb action flick. Tyler sprawled on the futon, legs kicked out, socked feet nudging mine. Hey, about last night. I'm cool. For real. Just persistent. I nodded. Too quick. Yeah. Me too. He tilted his head, studying me with that intensity he saved for debate club takedowns. You ever think about us, like, if things were different? The question landed like a live wire. My beer paused halfway to my lips. What do you mean? He shrugged. Casual, but his knee pressed firmer against mine. Nothing. Forget it. Brothers forever, right? Right, I echoed, but the word tasted like ash. As the credits rolled, he didn't move when I stood to crash. Instead, he caught my wrist, gentle, questioning. Stay? Talk some more. We did. Till dawn. Voices low, peeling back layers. His fears of not measuring up to his old man's legacy. My terror of being the campus punchline. Vulnerability bridged us closer, until the space between felt charged. Inevitable. By week's end, Marcus was a ghost, blocked, forgotten. Tyler and I were orbiting tighter. Study breaks turning into deep dives, his hand on my back guiding me through crowds. It was innocent. Mostly. Until the party. Sigma Chi's Halloween bash was legendary. Mansion off campus. Thumping bass. Fog machine choking the air with fake smoke. Tyler went as a pirate, a patch crooked, gold chain glinting against his black shirt unbuttoned just enough to tease. I was some half-assed vampire, cape from the thrift store, teeth plastic and cheap. We arrived together, arms slung, shouting over the din to claim beers. The house pulsed with bodies, sorority girls in cat ears, jocks shotgunning from funnels. Tyler got pulled into a beer pong tourney, leaving me nursing my solo cup by the makeshift bar, watching him dominate with that cocky laugh. A girl sidled up, blonde, tipsy, in a nurse outfit that left little to imagination. "You're Tyler's roommate, right? The quiet one," I forced a smile. "Zach." "Guilty." She leaned in, breath fruity. "He's hot shit. You two are like peas." "Ever get jealous?" Before I could deflect, Tyler appeared, slinging an arm around her waist. "Hey now, hands off my wingman." He winked at me over her shoulder, but his grip on her was loose, performative. She giggled, dragging him to dance, and I turned away, gut twisting. Hours blurred, shots, more shots. I found myself in the backyard, cool air slapping sense into me, when Tyler stumbled out, alone. "There you are. Thought you ditched." "Nah. Needed air." I leaned on the porch rail, stars smudged by city haze. He joined me, clothes too close, hip to hip. The party's roar faded to a hum. That nurse, total bore, kept asking about my future plans. Like, chill, I chuckled, but it died quick. His eyes were on me, dark in the string lights. "You okay? You seem off." "Just the usual." Lies. The usual was him, always him, carving space in my chest. He turned, facing me fully, the pirate patch pushed up like a rogue curl. "Zach." My name soft, like a secret. His hand found my jaw, thumb tracing the line, hesitant, then sure. "What if I said I've been thinking about it too? Us." Time fractured. His lips met mine, tentative, tasting of whiskey and want. I froze, then melted, hands fisting his shirt, pulling him closer. It was fire, his stubble rough, breath hitching, bodies aligning like puzzle pieces long denied. The world narrowed to this Tyler, kissing me back, hungry, real. We broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed. "Fuck," he whispered, grin shaky. That was, yeah, couldn't breathe. Dangerous. Perfect. But as we slipped inside, hand in hand hidden in shadows, I didn't see the eyes watching from the kitchen window. Jake, Tyler's teammate, phone in hand, smirk sharp as a blade. The morning after tasted like regret wrapped in bliss. Sunlight sliced through the blinds, painting Tyler's bare back in golden stripes as he slept tangled in my sheets. Our sheets now, somehow. We'd stumbled back to the dorm at 3 a.m., kisses turning frantic in the Uber, hands exploring under street lamps like thieves in the night. By the time we hit the room, clothes were a casualty. His pirate shirt crumpled by the door, my cape draped over the desk lamp like a bad omen. We'd crashed together on my bed, too buzzed and bold for separate bunks. His head on my chest, heartbeat syncing with mine till sleep claimed us. I woke first, tracing the curve of his shoulder with my eyes, memorizing the dip of his spine, the way his hair fanned wild against the pillow. Panic fluttered at the edges. What now? Campus gossip? His team? My family back in Peoria, who'd disown me faster than you can say Methodist. But it drowned in the warmth of him here, now. I pressed a kiss to his temple, soft, and he stirred, mumbling something incoherent before his eyes fluttered open. Blue, like summer skies over cornfields. Morning, vampire, his voice gravelly, smile lazy as he propped on an elbow, gaze raking me slow. No awkwardness, just heat reigniting. Hey, Captain, I grinned back, heart thudding. He leaned in, sealing it with a kiss, morning breath and all, lazy and deep, his leg hooking over mine possessively. We lingered like that, trading touches and whispers, the world outside irrelevant. This feels right, he murmured against my neck, fingers splaying across my ribs. Like I've been waiting. Me too. And God, it was true. Every stolen glance, every accidental brush, it all clicked into place. Eventually, hunger dragged us vertical. Tyler threw on boxers and a Bruins tee, firing up the hot plate for eggs while I brewed coffee. Domestic. Easy. We ate cross-legged on the futon, knees bumping, stealing bites from each other's forks. So, he said, scraping the last scramble, we telling people, or keeping it on the down low? I waited. Fork paused. Down low for now? Your team's full of cavemen. And my folks. Yeah. No. He nodded. No pushback. Smart. But not forever. His foot nudged mine under the table, reassuring. Ours. Classes called. But the day blurred in a haze of stolen moments. His text during psych lecture. Miss your face already? My grin hidden behind my notebook. A quick makeout in the library stacks after his poli-sci seminar. Books tumbling as we laughed into each other's mouths. It was intoxicating. This secret bloom. Our friendship alchemized into something fiercer, fragile. Practice that evening. I skipped the bleachers for the weight room, pounding out frustration on the bench press while Tyler drilled corners on the field. Jake cornered me after, spotting my last set with a smirk that didn't reach his eyes. Heard you and Hayes got tight last night. Partying hard. Something like that. I grunted, racking the bar heavier than necessary. Jake was the team's enforcer, built like a linebacker, mouth like a razor. Tyler tolerated him for the assists, but off-field, he was toxic. The guy who'd outed a freshman last year for looking at him funny. Jake lingered, wiping down the bench with deliberate slowness. Careful, man. Tyler's got a rep. Girls line up, but he's picky. Real picky. His tone slithered, implication clear. I forced nonchalance, but as he sauntered out, unease coiled in my gut. He saw something. That night, Tyler crashed my dorm study session. Uninvited, but welcome. Sprawling on the floor with his textbook propped on his abs, reading aloud from some constitutional law case in that drawl that made everything sound sexy. We aced a pop quiz on federalism, rewarded with pizza and a slow grind on the futon that left us breathless. Clothes askew but boundaries held, barely. Soon, he promised, nuzzling my collarbone. When it's safe. The week unfolded like a dream sequence. Coffee runs turning into handholds under cafe tables. Late-night drives to the harbor where we'd park and talk, really talk about futures tangled together. He confessed his bisexuality in halting whispers one night, parked by the water, waves lapping like applause. Always knew, but girls were easier. Safer. Till you. I kissed him then, salt-tanged and deep, the city lights blurring into stars. You're safe with me, but cracks spiderwebbed. Whispers in the dining hall. Hayes ditching the sorority scene? Jake stares during Tyler's pickup games. loaded with unspoken threats. I brushed it off, but Tyler tensed at mentions, his easy confidence fraying. Halloween hangover faded into midterms crunch. We holed up, a fortress of highlighters and Red Bull, his head in my lap as I quizzed him on torts, fingers carding through his hair. One night, exhaustion blurring lines, we crossed into new territory, hands wandering lower, breaths sinking in rhythm. It was tender, exploratory. His gasps against my skin, my name a litany on his lips. Climax hit like a wave, leaving us wrecked, entwined, whispering "I love you" into the dark for the first time. He said it first, tentative, "Love you, Zach," and I echoed it, tears pricking, because it was more than lust. It was home. Post-midterms glow was short-lived. Friday brought the team barbecue at the frat house. Mandatory for Tyler. Bring your roommate, invite extended with a wink from the president. I went, stomach knotted, playing the straight-laced sidekick while Tyler grilled burgers. Charm dialed to 11. Jake hovered, beers in hand, toasting to unbreakable bonds, eyes flicking between us like a predator scenting blood. By dusk, fireflies winking in the yard, Tyler pulled me aside behind the garage, kissing me fierce against the wood siding. "Can't wait anymore," he growled, hands framing my face. "You're it for me." Heart soaring. I nodded. "Tell them." Whenever. But as we emerged, flushed and rumpled, Jake was there, leaning on a cooler, phone casual in his pocket. "Nice chat, boys." Tyler's arm stiffened around my shoulders. "Yeah. Mind your own." Jake's laugh was oil slick. "Just looking out." Teams got standards. The barb landed, but we shook it off, dancing around the fire pit till embers died. Back in the dorm, Tyler's mood soured, pacing, fists clenched. "He's got nothing on us." "Nothing," I agreed, pulling him down, bodies aligning to chase away shadows. We made love again, slower, sealing promises in skin. Monday shattered it. I was in the union, grabbing a sub between classes, when my phone buzzed. Unknown number, a video attachment. Thumb hovering, I hit play. Grainy footage, us, in the backyard at the party, lips locked, hands desperate. Then, time-stamped later, Tyler's truck by the harbor, silhouettes writhing in the front seat. Audio faint, but damning my moan. His "love you" caption, Hayes' dirty secret. Pay up or it goes viral. Ransom? Blackmail. Jake's handiwork, no doubt. Nausea roiled as I forwarded it to Tyler, bolting for the field house. He met me in the locker room, face ashen, teammates' chatter fading as he yanked me into the showers. Empty stalls, steam still beating from earlier drills. "It's him." Saw him sniffing around my phone at practice. We confront. My voice shook, fists balled. Tyler shook his head, eyes fierce. "No. We fight smart." Record him admitting it. Plan hatched. Bait Jake with a team meeting at the dorm. Phone hidden, rolling. Adrenaline surged as we prepped. Tyler's jaw set, my resolve stealing. This wasn't just about us. It was survival. Evening fell, rain lashing windows like accusations. Jake arrived cocky, six-pack in tow, sprawling on the futon like he owned it. "What's the emergency, Captain?" Tyler leaned forward, elbows on knees, voice even. "The video. Delete it. Now." Jake blinked, then barked a laugh. Video? What vid? Oh. Feigned innocence crumbled into glee. Caught you two lovebirds. Pricey stuff. $5,000. And it vanishes. Blackmail's a felony. Asshole? I snapped. Phone angled discreet from the desk. He shrugged, unfazed. Prove it. Or enjoy the fame. Tyler lunged, not violent, just a grab for the phone. But Jake twisted away, smashing the beer bottle on the coffee table. Glass shattered, shards glinting like teeth, and chaos erupted. Tyler tackling him, me diving for the recording, shouts echoing down the hall. Security burst in minutes later. Campus PD. Lights flashing blue through blinds. Statements taken. Jake cuffed and snarling. You'll regret this. Fags. The word hit like shrapnel. Tyler's arm around me tightened, defiant, as they hauled Jake out. But the damage? Irreversible. By morning, the video leaked, anonymous email to the team list, whispers exploding across group chats. Campus ignited. The leak hit like a nor'easter, sudden, savage, stripping us bare. By 8 a.m., Tyler's phone was a war zone. Texts from teammates ranging from WTF dude to skull emojis and crickets. Mine fared no better. Classmates I'd nodded to in halls now averting eyes. The Queer Alliance group chat buzzing with cautious support laced with told-you-so undertones. We hunkered in the dorm, blinds drawn, the world outside a gauntlet of stares and whispers. Tyler paced like a caged wolf, jersey still on from yesterday's forgotten laundry, while I scrolled news feeds on my laptop, heart sinking at the screenshots circulating. Our kiss, pixelated but unmistakable, captioned with slurs that burned my retinas. Fuck this, Tyler growled, snatching his keys. I'm ending it. Wait. I grabbed his arm, fingers digging into corded muscle. Confronting the team? Now? They're probably already drafting your pink slip. He whirled, eyes wild, fear masked as fury. Hiding? That's what got us here. No more. I pulled him down, straddling his lap on the futon, hands framing his face. We face it together. Not alone. Our kiss was desperate. A lifeline, salty with unshed tears, bodies pressing close till the storm in him quieted to embers. I love you, I whispered, forehead to his. We'll weather this. He nodded, shaky, burying his face in my neck. Love you too. God, Zach. Didn't sign up for the circus, but the circus came anyway. Coach called Tyler in at noon, office reeking of old coffee and liniment, walls papered with championship banners now mocking us. I waited outside, bench cold against my back, eavesdropping on muffled shouts. Standards. Hayes, this blows up the program. Tyler emerged stone-faced, cleats in hand. Suspended. Indefinitely. Till the distraction clears. My stomach dropped. Soccer was his oxygen scholarship. Escape from Nebraska dust. Ticket to that DC. Dream. Will appeal. Get lawyers. No. His voice cracked. Rare vulnerability cracking through. Maybe it's time to pivot. But Jake? He's off the team. Assault charges pending. Small victory. Bitter pill. We walked back slow. Quad alive with gawkers. Frat bros snickering. A girl from my lit class snapping pics. Tyler's hand found mine, squeezing defiant. Heads turned. Murmurs swelled. But he didn't let go. That grip? My anchor. Afternoon brought family fallout. Tyler's mom called first, voice trembling over speaker. Sweetie, is it true? That boy? He assured her, voice steady. Yeah, Mom. Zach's my boyfriend. Deal with it or don't. Click. Silence heavy, then his exhale ragged. She'll come around. Dad. Fuck him. My turn. Voicemail from Peoria. Dad's baritone clipped. Heard rumors. Son. Fix this mess before it stains the family. Delete. Mom's followed. Softer. We love you, Zachary. Whatever you are. Tears stung progress. Fragile. Campus response fractured. Protests erupted by evening. Rainbow flags waving outside the admin building. Chants of love is love. Echoing. The alliance rallied. A vigil in the quad with candles and signs. Zach and Tyler. Unbreakable. Strangers hugged us. Stories shared. Came out last year. Survived. It humanized the hate. A bomb. But darkness lurked. Jake's bail hearing leaked details. His joke defense crumbling under the recording we'd submitted. Still, anonymous threats pinged. Emails promising lessons. A brick through the alliance window etched with a slur. Tyler slept with a bat by the bed. My nightmares vivid with echoes of high school taunts. We leaned harder into each other. Nights blurred into intimacy's refuge. Slow dances to Bon Iver in the dim. His whispers tracing my spine. You're my North Star. Culminating in lovemaking that felt sacred. Bodies mapping forgiveness. One dawn, tangled in sheets, he traced my jaw. Marry me someday? When the world's less shitty. I laughed through tears. Deal. Courthouse elopement. Dive bar reception. Humor fortified us, but cracks widened. Tyler's grades slipped. Suspension bleeding into isolation. Job apps to DC. Firms ghosting after background checks. I fared better. Lit prof pulling me aside. Your voice matters. Channel this. An essay on identity poured out. Published in the student rag. Raw and raging. It went viral locally. Op-eds praising resilience. Even a local news spot. Emerson's love story defies hate. Fame's double edge. Donations flooded the alliance. But paparazzi lurked quad edges. Mics thrusting at us post-class. How's the sex? One leered. Tyler shoved him back. Security swarming. Bruise on his knuckles. Fire in his eyes. We're done hiding. Date night, your call. I chose simple. Picnic by the river. Fall foliage peak. Blanket spread with PB and JS and a thermos of spiked cider. Dusk painted us amber as we lay head to toe. His fingers interlaced with mine. Stories flowing, childhood swapped like trading cards. Remember that road trip to Niagara? He mused. Thumb stroking my wrist. Pulled over in that blizzard. Sang every Beatles song off-key. Best night. Wish I'd kissed you then, I admitted, rolling to face him, noses brushing. You did in my dreams. His kiss deepened, world fading to river murmur and heartbeat. Idol shattered by sirens, campus alert, threat in dorms. Shelter in place. We bolted back, hand in hand through panicked crowds, locking down as alerts blared Jake's accomplices. 2 ex-teammates, vandalism spree. Police swept halls, radios crackling, while we barricaded, Tyler's arm my shield. Cleared by midnight, but sleep evaded. Curled together, he confessed, scared I'll lose you to this bullshit. Never, vow sealed with touch, tender amid terror. Week 2, backlash peaked. Frat revoked Tyler's alumni ties. Sponsors pulled from the paper. But allies rose. Coach's wife baked pies. For my favorite boys. Poli-sci Dean offered internship recs. Merit over malice. Tyler dyed his hair electric blue. Fuck him. New era. And we laughed, reclaiming power. Intimacy evolved. Not just fire, but quiet, reading poetry aloud. Him dissecting Whitman with me. Voice husky on. I sing the body electric. Vulnerability deepened. His panic attacks post-suspension. My imposter syndrome flaring. We therapied each other, raw and real. Thanksgiving loomed. A minefield. Tyler to Nebraska. Trial by fire. Me to Illinois. Stealing for inquisition. Airport goodbyes wrenching. His hug bone-crushing. Text me everything. Love you fierce. Home was purgatory. Dad's silence is deafening. Mom's tentative hugs a thaw. He's good for you, she whispered over pie. After I showed pics, us grinning at the vigil. Progress. Inchmeal. Tyler's updates sporadic. Family dinner tense. Sister his champion. Ty's happy. Deal. Dad storming out. Worth it, he texted. Midnight selfie. Blue hair tousled. I soft. Miss your arms. Reunion post-holiday. Dorm reunion electric. He tackled me at the door. Kiss devouring. Bodies fusing like magnets. Never again that long. Holidays honed us sharper. Love tempered. But shadows lengthened. Jake's trial date set. Plea bargain whispers. We prepped testimonies. Hands clasped in the courthouse echo. January thawed literal ice. But not metaphorical. Campus normalized-ish. Nods in halls. Some high fives tentative. Tyler landed a TA gig in poli-sci. Payback's a prof. And I joined the alliance board. Voice amplified. One night, post-rally, we walked the frozen Charles. Breath clouds mingling. This us? He asked, stopping under a gaslight glow. Best version. Kiss in the cold. Promising eternities. But betrayal brewed. Insidious. A leaked email chain surfaced. Jake's. Forwarded anonymously. Confessions to the dean. But also Tyler's old texts. Prius. Joking crude about dorm experiments. Context lost. Painted him predator. Me victim. Gossip reignited. Hayes groomed his roommate. Petitions circulated, expel him. Tyler crumbled that night. Bourbon bottle half empty. Eyes red. I didn't fuck. Zach. You know. I know. I held him through sobs. Rocking like a child. We'll prove it. Lawyers looped. Defamation suit brewing. But damage festered. Tyler withdrew. Classes skipped. Blue hair fading to neglect. I rallied. Op-ed counterstrike. Allies testifying. But isolation clawed, friends distanced. Fearing taint. Climax brewed at the spring formal. Alliance gala. Our coming out redux. Tyler resisted. Spotlight's poison. Poison's hiding. I dressed him, suit sharp. Tie rainbow streaked. Together. Venue shimmered. Balloons. String lights. Queer icons toasting. We entered arm in arm. Cheers erupting. Speeches flowed. Tyler's. Voice breaking. Love isn't scandal. It's salvation. Mine followed. Hand in his. He saved me first. Applause thundered. But midway, Jake's shadow loomed, released on technicality, lurking fringes with a camera flash. The flash popped like a gunshot in the ballroom's haze, freezing the revelry mid-clink of glasses. Jake, uninvited specter in a rumpled button-down, grinned from the shadows near the dessert table, phone raised like a weapon. Tyler's body went rigid beside me, His speech's echo, love's no crime, still hanging in the air, now mocked by this intrusion. The crowd murmured, heads swiveling, the Alliance president's smile faltering as she stepped forward. Sir, this is a private event. Leave, or we'll call security. But Jake didn't budge, eyes locked on us with that feral gleam. Just documenting history, sweetheart. Emerson's finest fairy tale. His voice carried, oily and amplified by the mic feedback squeal. Another flash, me, mid-gasp, Tyler's knuckles whitening on his champagne flute. I moved on instinct, stepping between them, heart hammering. Enough. You've done your damage. Close. He reeked of cheap cologne and spite, face twisted in a parody of righteousness. He leaned in, breath hot. Damage? This is justice. Captain Queer's little side hustle exposed. The slur landed soft, but it rippled, gasps from nearby tables, a drag queen in full regalia clutching her pearls. Tyler surged past me, chest to chest, voice low thunder. Say it again. To my face. Jake's smirk wavered, but he doubled down, shoving Tyler's shoulder light. But enough. Chaos ignited shouts, bodies pressing, security barreling through sequined gowns and bow ties. Fists flew, Tyler's connecting with Jake's jaw in a crack that silenced the room. Jake staggering back into a cake table, fondant and fruit exploding in slow-mo confetti. Punches traded sloppy, suits tearing, until bouncers pried them apart. Jake spitting blood, Tyler's lips split, I swelling purple. Medics swarmed, statements taken amid flashing squad lights bleeding through French doors. The gala dissolved, guests fleeing, organizers consoling, us shuttled to the ER in an Alliance volunteer's Prius. Tyler's head on my shoulder, ice pack dripping down his shirt. Sorry, he mumbled, voice thick. Lost it. You defended us. I kissed his temple, tasting copper. Proud. Hospital weight blurred. Stitches for Tyler, 3. Butterfly closures on his brow. X-rays negative. Psych eval waved off with "We're good." Discharge papers in hand. 2 a.m. Boston streets gleamed slick under sodium lamps. Rain of fine mist. We cabbed home silent, my arm around him, his hand on my thigh, anchor in the aftershock. Dorm felt violated. Yellow tape from prior incidents still peeling by the door, now joined by our ghosts. Tyler showered first, emerging in sweats, bruise blooming like a storm cloud. I cleaned his cuts, antiseptic stinging, his flinch pulling at me. This ends tonight, he said, catching my wrist. Full court press. No more half measures. By dawn. Lawyers drafted restraining order, civil suit expansion. Media frenzy peaked. CNN clip of the gala brawl, headlines screaming, gay couple's violent outburst. Pundits piled on, conservative blogs decrying thug tactics, progressives lamenting internalized rage. We went dark. Phones off, blinds sealed, emerging only for coffee runs. Hoods up, hands linked under tables. Isolation bred intimacy's fever. Days melted. Him sketching law briefs on napkins, me pounding out thesis pages, breaks dissolving into skin, lazy mornings with his mouth on my collarbone, afternoons tangled on the futon, exploring vulnerabilities with fingers and whispers. Here, he'd guide, voice husky, teaching trust. There, I'd echo, gasps mapping forgiveness. Love, weaponized against the siege. But siege wore us thin. Tyler's TA gig evaporated. Optics. The dean cited. Voice oily. My essay acceptances dried, editors citing controversy. Bills stacked, scholarships wobbled. We pawned his old watch. My guitar, survival's grim barter. Betrayal's second strike landed mid-March. Tyler's sister, our staunchest ally, forwarded an email chain. From his dad. Cut him off. Association's poison. But buried deeper, Tyler's old flame, ex-girlfriend from sophomore year, spilling to a tabloid. He always swung both ways, but I ended it when he got obsessed with his roommate. Lies. Twisted, our harbor makeouts painted predatory. Me the prey he'd lured. Rage boiled. Tyler hurled his phone, screen cracking against the wall. That bitch. After everything. Easy. I pulled him close, rocking through tremors. We countersue. Truth's our blade, but truth fractured under scrutiny. Depositions dragged. Jake's trial merged ours, courtroom a coliseum of suits and stares. He took the stand smirking, spinning prank gone wrong, painting us villains, Tyler the aggressor, me the enabler. Cross-exam shredded him, our recording played, gasps rippling jury box. Tyler testified next. Voice steady, he blackmailed us. For being real. His hand found mine under the table, unseen, but felt. My turn, raw, unscripted. Tyler's not predator. He's protector. First man to see me, love me, without conditions. Tears fell. Unashamed, judge's gavel echoed approval. Verdict. Jake guilty. Extortion. Assault 3 years. Restitution. Our civil wins sweeter. Defamation payout. Gag orders. But victory hollow. Tyler's dad disowned publicly. Ex's smear lingered in searches. Spring thawed literal. Metaphorical blooms tentative. Campus healed. Vigils morphed to pride marches. Our story mythologized in murals. 2 silhouettes. Hands linked. Against storm clouds. Tyler re-enrolled summer courses. TA'd lit. Voices reclaimed. Romance rekindled soft. Bike rides along the esplanade. Picnics with stolen strawberries. His head in my lap under willows. Reading Kerouac aloud. On the road with you, he'd quip, kissing my palm. Nights, we danced slow to Coltrane vinyls borrowed from the library. Bodies swaying. Futures sketched in murmurs. Law school together, Georgetown? NYU for you. Visits for me. But doubts whisper. A teammate's cold shoulder. Job rejection citing past drama. Tyler's smile strained. Nightmares returning. Abandonment's echo. Climax crested Memorial Day weekend. Team reunion barbecue. Invite extended tentative. No hard feelings? Tyler agonized. Go alone. No. We go. Or not. Choice made. Arrival arm in arm. Blue hair faded but spirit fierce. Stares met with chin lifts. Jake's absence a void. Coach clapped Tyler's back. Missed your fire, son. Beers flowed. Apologies trickled, some genuine, others awkward. Mid-grill. Ex-teammate pulled Tyler aside. Voices low. I watched from picnic table, gut twisting as shoulders hunched. Then hug, relief, he returned, eyes bright. Cleared air. There. Trying. Night deepened. Bonfire crackling. Stories swapped. A rousing toast. To Hayes and Zach. Changed the game. Cheers genuine. Thawing ice. Drive home euphoric. Windows down. Radio blasting Springsteen. Tyler's hand on my knee. Drumming rhythm. We're winning. Pulling into the lot. Kiss ignited front seat tangle. Fogged windows, laughter bubbling. Home, he breathed, leading me up. But dawn brought the knife. Letter in our box. Anonymous. Tyler's handwriting? No. Forged clumsy. I can't do this anymore. Too much. Goodbye. Heart seized, betrayal's ghost. Panic clawed. Dorm empty? No. He slept beside me. Breath even. Forgery. But whose? Jake's cronies. Last gasp. We burned it. Ashes in the sink. Vow renewed. No more ghosts. Summer sweltered. Love's forge. Internships landed. Tyler at a queer rights NGO. Me editing zines. Weekends. Cape Cod escapes. Dunes and dips. His laughter free under gulls. This, he said, salt-crusted, kissing me sunset slow, is us, yet undercurrent pulled. His restlessness, late-night scrolls of grad apps solo. Space to breathe, he claimed, but eyes evaded. Fall loomed, semester 2 electric, classes synced, alliance co-chairs. Pride Month planning bonded us, float designs, slogan wars. Intimacy peaked. A weekend in Vermont, cabin rented cheap, no phones, just us, hikes hand in hand, stargazing nudes, confessions deep. You healed me, betrayal's final twist. Overheard in the Union, Tyler. On phone, yeah, applying to Stanford. Solo shot, heart cracked. Us dissolved? Confrontation brewed that night. Dinner cooling untouched. Stanford? Alone? He winced. Caught. Not alone. Us. But. Fresh start. Away from here. Without me. Voice broke. Tears hot. You promised. I know. Frustration flared. Pacing. But this place broke us. Jake. The stairs I need to rebuild. For us. Prove I'm more than scandal. Pain lanced. So I'm baggage? Drag you down. No fuck. Zach. You're everything. He closed distance. Hands cupping my face. Desperate. Come with? Defer. Apply next cycle? Temptation ward, safety in flight. But roots here. Growth unfinished. I can't. Not yet. Standoff. Words weaponized. Silences stretched. He slept on the futon. Back turned, first rift. Days chilled. Polite coexists. Touches tentative. Alliance meeting. Our synergy sparked. Ideas flying. Crowd roaring, but after. Silence in the hall. Miss you, he whispered. Doorframe lean. Me too. Bridge half mended. But fault lines lingered. Autumn leaves turned treacherous. Crunching underfoot like brittle promises as Tyler and I navigated the frayed edges of what we'd become. The dorm, once sanctuary, echoed with ghosts. Empty beer bottles from better nights. His soccer cleats gathering dust in the corner. My guitar strings unplucked since the pawnshop sting. We'd patched the immediate wound with gritted teeth, talks over lukewarm takeout. Compromises hashed. Stanford app paused. For now. He conceded. Eyes pleading. My hand in his under the table sealing a fragile truce. But trust. That sly bastard. Slunk away. Leaving suspicions chill in its wake. Campus pulsed with homecoming fever. Tailgates blaring Springsteen. Frats churning keg stands. But we orbited the fringes. Invited yet wary. Tyler threw himself into NGO work. Late nights drafting amicus briefs for a marriage equality case. His passion reignited like a pilot light. I'd watch him sometimes, hunched over the desk lamp's glow, pen flying, and ache with pride laced with fear. He's outgrowing me, this place, the mess we made. My own days filled with zine deadlines and alliance plotting. Voice steady in meetings but cracking alone. Journaling fevered entries. Is love enough when the world's a grinder? Intimacy flickered. Tentative. Kisses reclaimed in stolen moments. A grind against the fridge after a rally win. His groan vibrating through me like absolution. But beds stayed separate some nights. The futon a DMZ. Silence thick with unspoken what-ifs. We're okay, he'd murmur, pulling me close anyway. But the words rang hollow. Echoes of denial. The real fracture hit mid-October. Rain-lashed skies mirroring my mood. Tyler's phone buzzed during a rare movie night. The perks of being a wallflower. Ironic choice, screen lighting his face with an unknown number. He silenced it quick. But not before I glimpsed the preview. Hey Ty. Miss our talks. Coffee? E. Emily. The ex. The tabloid viper who'd twisted our story into her revenge porn. Who? I asked, casual as I could. Popcorn paused mid-toss. He shrugged. Too smooth. Wrong number. Some spam. Liars tell. Jaw tick. I sliding left. I let it slide. Film rolling. But seeds planted doubt's insidious weed. Next days, patterns emerged. His late meetings stretching. Showers longer. Cologne spritzed fresh. Paranoia? Maybe. But when I forgot my charger at the NGO office one evening, popping in unannounced, I saw it. Emily, perched on his desk, laughing at some quip, her hand lingering on his arm. He pulled away quick, spotting me, but the damage bloomed betrayal's ugly flower. Confrontation waited till dorm, storm raging outside, thunder punctuating my accusations. Coffee with her? After the lies. The suit. Tyler deflated, running hands through rain-damp hair. It's not fuck, Zach. She's consulting on the case. Intel. Nothing more. Intel. Bitter laugh escaped. Touching her like that? Intel? He flinched, pacing the narrow strip. Jealous? After everything? She's helping bury the past. Past. Voice rose, cracking. She's the goddamn architect, and you're cozying up because... What? Safer? Straighter optics for Stanford. That's not fair. Hurt flashed. Bro. I chose you. Every time. Chose? I shoved the desk chair. Wheels squeaking protest. Then why the secrets? Why her? Silence stretched. Rain sheeting windows like tears. He sank onto the bed, head in hands. Because I'm scared. Okay. Scared this us costs you everything. Your family, dreams. Emily. She gets the pressure. The hiding, knife twist. Not just betrayal, but pity's shadow. So I'm the fragile one? The gay burden dragging straight boy Tyler down. No! He lunged up, grabbing my arms. Ice fierce. You're my everything. But yeah, I fucked up. Talking to her. It was weakness. Old habits. We collided then, anger transmuting to need. Kiss bruising. Hands clawing shirts away. Floor-bound frenzy. Him over me. Apologies gasped into skin. My nails raking his back, mine. Climax shattered us. Spent and sobbing. Truths spilling post-storm. I ended it, he confessed. Finger tracing my lip. Told her we're done. For good. Forgive, I whispered. Vulnerable. Always. Vow sealed. Bodies entwined till dawn. Rebuild began halting. Therapy mandated by the dean. Joint sessions in a cramped office smelling of chamomile. unpacking traumas like luggage. Tyler's abandonment fears from dad's ghosting, my closet scars from Peoria whispers. Progress incremental. Date nights enforced, no phones dinners, trust exercises goofy yet grounding, blindfolded walks across quad, laughter thawing ice. November brought Thanksgiving redux, his family thawing. Sisters invite to Nebraska. Bring Zach. Turkeys queer friendly. Road trip cathartic. Cornfields blurring past. His hand on my thigh. Mixtape of our anthems. Vienna by Billy Joel. Slow down. You're doing fine. Hayes Homestead creaked welcoming. Mom's hug tentative then tight. Dad's nod grudging but present. Dinner prayers skipped slurs. Toasts to new chapters. Tyler's grin. Boyish. Squeezed my heart. Home. Extended. My return to Illinois softer. Dad's handshake firm. Proud of your fight, son. Mom's pie recipe shared with a wink. For your boy's sweet tooth. Absolution. Earned. Semester wound with finals frenzy. Our bubble resilient. Christmas markets twinkled. Mulled wine and mittened hands. His gift a leather journal. For our story. Mine. Compass necklace. Engraved north. New Year's Eve. Rooftop party with Alliance crew. Countdown kiss under fireworks. Promises etched in sparks. But climax loomed insidious. Stanford decision day. Letter thick in his hand. We sat cross-legged on the futon. Cider steaming. His exhale shaky. Deferred. For us. Relief crashed. Hugs turning heated. Celebratory tangle. Future fused. Winter break healed deeper. Vermont cabin redux. Snow blanketing pines. Us snowshoeing to frozen ponds. Skating clumsy till falls dissolved to snow angels. Bodies imprinting earth. Nights by firelight. Stories swapped. Vulnerabilities bared. His bisexuality's fluid ache. My gay awakening's lonely roar. Lovemaking meditative, slow. I locked. I see you mantra. Spring bloomed defiant. Pride parade. Our float headlining. From dorm to dawn. Unbroken. Crowds cheered. Confetti rain. Tyler's arm my banner. Post-march. Harbor picnic. Lobster rolls and sunset sails. His proposal whisper amid waves. Move with me? Post-grad. Anywhere. Yes. Seal with salt kiss. Horizons shared. Yet humanity's curve. Not flawless. Arguments flared. His stubborn streak. My overthink, but mended quicker. Scars badges. Jake's appeal denied. Our payout funding first apartment. Off-campus walk-up. Leaky but ours. Graduation dawned cerulean. Gowns billowing quad. Families mingled, his mom teary. My dad clapping Tyler's back. Diplomas clutched. Speeches soaring. Tyler's valedictory. Voice booming. Love's the real revolution. Caught me in the dorm. Turned my world dangerous. And divine. Cheers thundered. My eyes wet. Our story. Immortal. Post-ceremony. Under ancient oaks. We slipped away. Blanket spread. Champagne pilfered. Bodies aligning one last dorm free time. Tender. Triumphant. To us, he toasted. Necklace glinting. To dangerous turns. Epilogue whispers, DC. Loomed his law clerk gig. My publishing internship. Shoebox apartment with fire escape views. Fights? Sure. Joys? Infinite. Betrayals? Forged to strength. In America's messy heart, we carved space raw, real, unbreakable. Humanity's grace. Not perfection, but persistence. Love, caught in the act, blooming eternal.